Hi, this is Ronnie, and this is the 11th challenge with Crafty Megan. And today, Jennifer Cambridge got to pick the what we were going to do, and it was to put sparkle on our layout. So I'm going to be using lots of gold. My first thought was to do a Christmas layout and use sparkle and glitter and everything. And then I thought, no, I think I'll use this picture of my daughter and do a layout about her. And I'm showing you some of the pre-made embellishments that I did. I didn't have a whole lot of gold, and I wanted to use quite a bit of gold and pink. That's her favorite color. And so I made some stuff ahead of time. And I used my scraps of gold to start with, and then I pulled out the biggest scrap. That's the one that you've seen there. And I'm going to use the Gilded Paper Stack by Die Cuts with a View. And the paper I'm going to use for my background doesn't have any gold or gold foil or anything on it. And yes, it does have a top and a bottom on that page. At first I just laid it out thinking it was just a pattern, but the way the pattern is, it does have a top and bottom. And there I'm using the Stampin' Up! Roller stamp, and I think it's Hot Dots is the name of it. And I'm using a gold metallic ink with it, and I'm going to also use some Heidi Swap. You can see it over there in the corner. I forgot to show it though, and here I remember that I'm going to use that Heidi Swap. And I wanted to use it because it's color shine, and it's Primrose color shine, and it's has sparkle. It has shine and sparkle, and it's really pretty. And I thought I'd fill in the little circles that's in that stamp with it and add some more pink to the layout. And that's an overlay that I had in my stash. I'm kind of thinking it was from Oh Darling, but I'm not sure. And I wanted to make sure I was able to see the stamping through it. And so it's going to be laid over to the side just so that I can do that, And that is a Kelly Perky die, and it's of a cell phone. And my daughter has her cell phone with her all the time, of course. Who doesn't these days? And so I used pattern paper from the Gilded Stack, and then I also used a pink vellum over the top of it. And I'm using a sticker there. And the sticker says, "Don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid not to try." And when my daughter was younger, I had to just practically make her do everything. She was kind of afraid to try. I even had to lock my car doors when I took her to ball practice. She wanted to do it so bad. Her brother had done it. And she had even picked up the balls and bats and things at his games, was the bat girl, just because she wanted to be in on it, but she didn't want to try out. And then she finally decided she's going to try out. And I get her there, and she don't even want to get out of the car. Coach come to talk to her and ask if she was Melody, and we said yeah. And so I told her, I said, let's get out of the car and just watch. So we got out and got on the hood. I got back in a few minutes later really fast, locked the doors, and backed out with her beating on the windows and left her there. When I came back, she was playing. The coach talked her into playing. But now there's nothing holding her back. She's always trying new things and doing new things. She works for a nonprofit organization and does a lot of fundraisers, has lots of great ideas, and she does a lot more than she did when she was younger. I just had to really keep after her to do it and get confidence in herself. And she was pretty good once she got the confidence. And she was a natural at ball, too. She was a real good player. But I'm layering everything here. I decided I needed another piece of the paper, and so I picked out the wood grain with the gilded gold on there, and I had made up a piece ahead of time over to the left, and it was a wood grain, but it had speckles of gold. And then I used my Martha Stewart punch and did a border, and I also put some pink vellum on there too. And I had it planned to put some words there on the edge of it and have it go along there with words on it, but I forgot. So it's just layered in there instead. And I'm trying to decide what to put in my little cluster over there. My first thought was to put an arrow to point over to my grouping, but I seen that feather and decided to use it. And the feathers, I inked them in gold on the edges, and then I went over the whole thing with my Wink of Stella and put glitter over the whole thing on them. And I'm trying to decide where to place everything here. And the phone, when you cut it out, it also cuts out a hashtag and a geotag. So I decided I was going to go ahead and use them on my layout. I hadn't figured out what my title was going to be yet, but I thought I'd put it down there in the bottom left-hand corner with the hashtag. And that sticker says, "Don't forget to be awesome." And this one's style, and I used Sizzix script font for that, and that one's Grace, and I used the same font for it. And they're a little Sizzlets die. And you see how that feather goes upward on the right? Yeah, I go to put it over there, and at the last second I changed my mind and decided to go in the other direction. See, I'm going to end up flipping it over. But I thought I was going to go that way. I just all of a sudden decided to do the other way instead. And I got it a little crooked. Well, it wasn't crooked. I think I moved it when I was putting the feather on. And so then then it was crooked when I was testing the feather, I guess. And I'm putting some gold on a little potty person. And I'm going to end up getting some gold on my paper doing that. So I have to decide a way, yeah, right there, camouflage that. So I'm going to use some hearts to do that. And that wooden one, I'm going to go ahead and put ink on it. But I'm going to let it dry a little bit before I put it back on there. So it's going to set to the side. And I have ink all over my fingers and don't even notice it. So I probably end up ink in a few places that I may not notice. And right there where I put that heart, I get to thinking after I start editing the video that I want something else there. So I'm going to put a sticker that says, "Life is good." I'm trying to look over there at my layout. And it's a circle sticker. So the very last picture that you see is going to be with that sticker on there. And nothing else is going to have it. I just had to, when I went and put it on, I took one more picture and put it at the end of the video. And I'm having trouble getting that foam tape off of there. It's stuck pretty good. And that's the geotag from that Kelly Perky die that has the cell phone and the hashtag. And I'm just putting glue on one side of this wood veneer that says capture. And I took it and put it in the ink also. And then I put some clear embossing powder on top of it to make it a little shinier. But I didn't do that with the others. I just wanted that one to be a little bit different. And I'm trying to decide where to put that feather to. And I move it around several times before I decide go ahead and put it up there on the camera. And the feathers, I just inked the edges in the gold. And I also took my Wink of Stella pen and went over the whole thing to add a little more sparkle, since the theme is sparkle for this. And I took one of those heart stickers out of there and my wood veneer that I inked up. Although it don't look very inked up right there. But it is. Yeah, you can tell it's more. Sorry for all the glare. I moved my lights around a couple of times, but I just couldn't seem to get rid of it. And that's an arrow from the Artful Arrows from Tim Holtz. And it probably don't look like any you've seen on there. It's a little longer than the one that's plain like that. And I cut the feathers off the end. I needed it long enough to put the melody on there. I had a hard time deciding what to make my title. And I finally decided to just put melody. And the font I used is Cole's ABC from Lawn Pond. And I like it pretty good, but I wish the L looked a little different. But it looks like a lowercase L. And the I's lowercase also, so there is a couple of things in there that's lowercase. Almost everything's uppercase. And I'm sprinkling sequins around there to add more sparkle to my layout. And I have like 3 different sizes. It just came in a package from Walmart. And the other colors are brighter. And I thought about using that pink up there. And I laid a couple on there thinking it'd go with the pink in my layout. But no, it's a little too purpley. So I didn't use it. And I'm just putting things around there, and I'm thinking I need a little pink up there, a little more pink. I do have pink from where I did my stamping and the color shine, but I decided I need a little more pink, so I'm going to add a hand cut, that's a hand cut heart up there, and because I wanted the small one and I didn't want to get my die set out. I do have a Lawn Pond die set, but I just wanted one little small one, so I just cut it by hand. I figured part of it's going to be hid anyway, since I was going to layer it in there, and so I just cut it by hand. And I'm just using glossy accents to put all the sequins on. And now I'm going to use the Studio G. There's 2 shades of pink, a darker and a lighter shade of pink of the rhinestones, to add just a little more sparkle. I like sparkle anyway. So, yeah, I'd probably done this layout the same with all the sparkle if I'd done it without the challenge. But the sparkle is what got me started on it, though. So, but I would have added just as much. Anyway, that's my finished layout. And I added some sparkle into the cell phone up there where the take the picture, and then also the on button. And this is the hashtag melody with the Cole's ABC and the arrow, and there's part of the capture, and you can see the stamping on there also, and there's the whole capture with the vellum on the back. And don't forget to be awesome from the page, I think it's called Pocket Page stickers. And don't afraid to fail, be afraid not to try. And I really like those. They're clear. And there's the Grace, and then there's the Style. I don't know why the Grace was so short. It just popped right through there. And there's the heart. Then I just cut it out from, it was leftover scrap, and it had been cut out from I Love You from a Sizzix die, and I just did the silhouette. Well, there's the Grace again. I don't know what it was a while ago. No telling. Don't know if that was a glitch or what, but there's the close-up with it. And this is the whole layout again, and I hope you decide to join in on the challenge. And we do have Facebook group, Facebook group, Scrappy, Maggie, and Ronnie. And if you decide to join the challenge, you don't have to do a video. You can just post your picture in the Facebook group. And we're not going to do any more until after the first of the year. And I'm not sure what we're going to be doing, but we will be doing a challenge to turn some of those pages into layouts, papers into pages. That's it, papers into pages. And thanks, Jennifer, for the good idea for the sparkle. And check out Maggie, Crafty Maggie, Megan's challenge, her layout, and Jennifer's. And I'll leave links below to both their channels. And thank you so much for all your comments and your thumbs up. And thanks for watching. Bye.